Aloha, it's Kiana, and here are today's top Hawaii headlines from the editors at the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Also, huge mahalo to Longstrugs Hawaii for sponsoring the show. Head on over to your neighborhood Longstrugs for all your shopping needs. 51 people have died after they were abandoned in a tractor trailer in the Texas summer heat. Police said a worker heard a cry for help from the truck on a San Antonio back road Monday evening. 46 people were found dead at the scene and 5 more died after being taken to hospitals. More than a dozen people, including children, were transported to medical facilities with heat-related illnesses. San Antonio Mayor Ron Nierenberg called the deaths a horrific human tragedy and said the victims had families who were likely trying to find a better life. The home countries of all the migrants and how long they were abandoned on the side of the road were not immediately known. Authorities said 3 people were in custody, but it is unclear if they have been connected with human trafficking. Socialite Gillane Maxwell was sentenced to 20 years in prison today for helping Jeffrey Epstein sexually abuse underage girls. The ruling comes with a $750,000 fine. Prosecutors had asked the judge to give Maxwell 30 to 55 years in prison, while the defense sought a sentence of just 5 years. The sentencing marks the end of a trial that explored the activities of a predator power couple who courted the rich and famous as they lured vulnerable girls as young as 14. Over the past 17 years, multiple women have accused Epstein of abusing them. Many said Maxwell acted as a madame who recruited them for massages that turned sexual. Prosecutors said Epstein sexually abused children hundreds of times over more than a decade and couldn't have done so without the help of Maxwell. In December, a jury convicted Maxwell of sex trafficking, transporting a minor to participate in illegal sex acts, and 2 conspiracy charges. Epstein killed himself in 2019 while awaiting trial. A 41-year-old man has been charged in connection with an alleged armed robbery in Eva. On Sunday, Sheldon E. Bryant was charged with first-degree robbery, unlawful ownership of possession of a firearm, carrying a firearm in the commission of a separate felony, place to keep a pistol or revolver, and first-degree terroristic threatening. The charges follow an alleged robbery Friday afternoon. Honolulu police said a 30-year-old man was sitting in his car when a suspect, later identified as Bryant, approached him with a handgun. The pair are reportedly acquaintances. Bryant allegedly ordered the victim to exit the vehicle. That night, officers located Bryant in Kapolei and arrested him on suspicion of first-degree robbery. The victim's car was recovered. Bryant has a criminal record that includes felony convictions for vehicular and drug offenses, as well as petty misdemeanor convictions for harassment and disorderly conduct. A 40-year-old man died while hiking in the Kaena Point area on Sunday. Honolulu police said the hiker experienced trouble breathing at about 11:25 Sunday morning. He was taken to a nearby hospital where he died. The man had a medical condition, but police did not disclose details or confirm whether it was a contributing factor in his death. In a separate, unrelated case that same morning, a 24-year-old man suffered cardiac arrest while bicycling at the Kaena Point Trail shortly after 11:15. Bystanders performed CPR on the man until ocean safety personnel arrived. The Honolulu Fire Department's Air 1 helicopter responded to the incident and airlifted the bicyclist to a landing zone at Yokohama Bay, where EMS personnel conducted advanced life support. He was then taken to a hospital in critical condition. Air National Guard troops who are assigned to space missions are facing an identity crisis. Active duty Air Force troops working on space missions have been folded into the Space Force, leaving some Air Guard members who do similar jobs without a formal link to the new service. Now, state and federal leaders are discussing the creation of a Space National Guard. There are 1,008 Air National Guard citizen airmen performing space jobs in Alaska, California, Colorado, Florida, Hawaii, New York, Ohio, and Guam. The establishment of a Space Guard was part of the Air Force's initial space plan, but funding limits have become an issue. Federal authorities say a Space Guard will create unneeded bureaucracy and overhead costs of about $500 million a year. State leaders put the price tag at only $250,000. Guard leaders argue that the split has caused budgeting gaps, training delays, and recruiting problems that could lead to bigger issues down the road. The Space Force was created in 2018 under President Donald Trump to defend U.S. interests in space. For more on these stories and all the latest headlines, subscribe to the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Visit Hawaii's top source for breaking news online at staradvertiser.com and download the Star-Advertiser mobile app. Mahalo, have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.